Playboy founder Hugh Hefner battled Elvis Presley's co-star over nude pics, son. Stella Stevens was in dire need of a paycheck when Playboy came calling. The actress, who was groomed to be the next Marilyn Monroe before she made her own mark during the final years of Hollywood's golden era, died in 2023 at age 84. She's now the subject of a new documentary by her son Andrew Stevens, Stella Stevens, The Last Starlet. It features commentary by Quentin Tarantino and Vivica A. Fox, among others. Stella Stevens, the nutty professor, actress, and Elvis Presley's sister, dead at 84 in the film, viewers learn how Stevens, who had a young son to feed, took an offer to pose nude for the magazine. It cemented her role as a sought-after screen siren, but it came at a price. She was alone in Hollywood, barely 18 years, and broke with no source of income, Andrew told Fox News Digital. A photographer and his wife came to her, and they said, "We shoot for this magazine called Playboy, and we'll pay you $5,000 if you do a layout." Stella said, "It was a job, and I needed a job. I had a child to support. I was a single person living in LA and I didn't know anyone. So I took the work." Before stripping down, Stevens was discovered at a department store in Memphis. She was flown to Hollywood for a screen test and then signed a 3-year contract with 20th Century Fox. While Stevens filmed 3 movies in 6 months, she was dropped by the studio over a work card technicality. Despite the $5,000 offer, Stevens said Playboy founder Hugh Hefner told her after the racy shoot that he would only pay her half. To earn the rest, she had to work as a hostess at one of his clubs. She's quoted as saying, "I told him to shove it, I will not," said Andrew. Stevens signed a new contract with Paramount. She scored a co-starring role in Lil Abner as Appassionata Von Climax. She was determined to get her photos back before they went to print. She called Hugh Hefner and said, "I have this big Hollywood movie now. Please don't publish the photos." "I'll buy them back from you," said Andrew. He said, "Oh no, you have a contract. We're using them." So, Playboy exploited Lil Abner, which takes place in a mythical place called Dogpatch. They titled her photos, Dogpatch Playmate. Watch. 60s star Stella Stevens tried to buy back Playboy pics from Hugh Hefner. Son, the irony is, after being dropped from 20th Century Fox, she won a Golden Globe as Best Newcomer of the Year in 1960 when Marilyn also won a Golden Globe for Best Actress, Andrew shared. And Marilyn won for the studio that had just dropped my mother's contract. Stevens felt that being a sex symbol was a double-edged sword, said Andrew. On one hand, she appreciated that she got more attention in the Hollywood community, he explained. Everyone wanted to meet her. But the old Hollywood studio system at that time was a very male-dominated, misogynistic community. And the casting couch was very real. And as film critic Leonard Maltin is quoted as saying in the film, there was a whole town run by early-day Harvey Weinsteins. In some ways, being a sex symbol gave her a career boost, said Andrew. But on the flip side, she's quoted as saying it killed doing anything decent or legitimate after that. People wouldn't take her seriously because of this sexbot moniker that she was given. So, the more weighty and meaty dramatic roles were not as forthcoming as the more frivolous post-Marilyn Monroe type roles. Stevens was determined to be taken seriously as an actress. According to the documentary, Stevens had zero desire to appear alongside Elvis Presley in 1962's Girls. Girls. The studio was pushing her to do it, Andrew explained. At the time, very few actors had any say over what the studio assigned them to do. Stella quite outspokenly said, "I don't want to be the girl that Elvis Presley leaves for another girl. That's not what I have in mind for my career." She had just finished a film called Too Late Blues, directed by John Cassavetes, starring Bobby Darin, Andrew pointed out. It was this dramatic piece. That's the kind of work she was interested in doing. Not some frivolous fluff piece, although Elvis movies were very popular at the time. But nobody took him seriously as an actor, and nobody took them seriously. She was having her own struggles with trying to be taken seriously after having posed in Playboy. While Stevens had great respect for Presley, she urged the studio not to cast her in the film. Stevens only agreed to do it after she was promised to play opposite Montgomery Clift in her next movie. It never happened. Stevens detested the Presley flick and could never bring herself to watch it. There was one person who believed in Stevens' talent, Jerry Lewis. The comic chose her to play his love interest in 1963's The Nutty Professor. Stella and Jerry Lewis loved each other, said Andrew. They had such a